I have got a guitar logo, but I'm going to rework it but it is a guitar logo. Melos Custom Guitars has a guitar logo. Wearing the Guitar Show shirt today. Nifty, you are always supporting me. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Okay, so let's get back to here. That's what we're going to do. So, first things first, we'll put away the electrics. Just going to pop this in and show you guys how that's looking now. There it is. Okay. Got that guy. You can see the gaps there. Everything's nice and tight. Everything's nice and tight. Fits really well. Okay, we've got the right angle. Just the 2 degree. Very, very short. Not the 4. Just the 2. It's a flat top. We don't need to go that high. So we've got a 2 in there. Very, very fine. Very, very minute angle. You probably can't see it by the naked eye. I can see it though. Okay, put this guy away. You can see in the background there, we've got our giveaway. Just there. Don't forget the giveaway. Exclamation points. Exclamation giveaway. Get those points. Turn them into tickets. Off you go. Do your best to win that guy. What else have we got? Not too hard to work with. Absolutely not too hard to work with. Go down. Okay. I'm going to flick this guy over and we're going to get some work done. So let's get started. Let's prep this guy. Now, these things we have to be patient, but there's a certain time limit. Each phase has to be done. For example, we'll soak the wood, we'll wrap it up. Once the heat's on, we need to really move through. We can't just let it sit there simmering for minutes and hours while we talk about it and then decide to press. We've got to be ready. So I'm going to grab some spring steel, have that on the go and ready to rock and roll. I've got my little spring steel straps somewhere here. The little ones, I've put the little ones away. I will find them. Spring steel. That'll teach me to clean things up and sort things out. I've put them away now. I can't remember where I've done with them. They'll be here somewhere. Look, I'll find these guys. Go down the back and have a look. All right. So these are quite fine. Look at these spring steel straps. Very, very thin, about 0.5 millimeter. Why do we use these? We use these to just provide a little bit of backing around the areas where we're bending. Keep those. If we put these guys here as we bend, it keeps the pressure down on here, keeps the wood fibers from wanting to do that. Because sometimes they want to do that. And then you get splintering and then you get a crack. So that strapping over the top is a bit of Rio. Lets it bend while it keeps pushing those fibers back down that have a tendency to want to go up. So we've got all that sorted out. Who else have we got? Willie Wonko's in the house just in time. Leslie's here as well. How you doing? Good to see you, Leslie. Okay, so let's get this stuff prepped. we are going to firstly get the wood nice and soaked and wrap that guy up. So let's do that. We're going to use aluminium foil to wrap that. The wrapping is basically just to keep the moisture in the steam in. We don't want to lose too much moisture. Let's grab this guy. Where have I got the foil? I did bring that down. Foil, foil. Grab that foil, put our pegs. We got it. We left it in the other part of the building. All right, we got our foil. Let's get on with it. Enough mucking around. Workbench. Got our spray bottle. Just going to lay out a nice big long piece. Like so. We're going to grab our top. This is going to be the outside. This is the outside edge. We're going to spray this guy with water. Get that water in there. Get that water in there, nice and wet. Flip that over. Some people say don't add too much water. Some people say don't saturate it so it's dripping wet. It doesn't really matter. I've had people soak these things in tubs, in bathtubs overnight. So, you Bumstead, in a house. What's going on, brother? Terry, what's going on? Glad to see you here. Got your coffee. Good to see. Tootsie Roller, what's going on? Good to see you as well. Welcome on in. Thank you for being here. Okay, so now we've got this guy all wet. Just rub that water in, make sure it's nice and splashy so you can see the shine there. It's quite wet. That's what we want. We need it to be pretty wet. Wrap this guy up. Nice and tight, no creases. Make sure we're nice and flat. No major creases. I mean, that's not going to make a difference anyway. It's pretty flat. Close that guy up. Keep that water in there. T for top. Okay, we're good to go. Now, let's swing this camera over to here. Okay, there's our setup. I've got my fire gloves, I've got my pegs. What are my pegs for? Well, you'll see in a minute. We've got to strap those steel straps on there. So they'll go around the middle part where we have the tightest bend. Need to get them underneath. And there. And I'm going to peg those down. If we can, just leave those in there. Oh, we've got to take that blanket off. Just take that blanket off. That goes on top. Take this guy off. Take our form off. Camera's moved. Get that guy back in there. There we go. Okay, there's our top. You can see this tight bend here. This bend's okay. We're going to lay that across anyway. It's going to provide some support on both sides anyway, like so. Lay the top across there like so. And now we carefully lay this guy over the top. Like so. We will quickly peg these guys together. It might burn the pegs, but I'm not fussed. I have a whole bucket of them. Right down the end. That'll stop that sliding as we push down. Like so. That's keeping it in place. And we're ready to go, ladies and gents. Pretty much ready to go. So, what we have to do is position our clamps. I've got our clamps ready here. We've got some 3 big clamps to lock that guy down. What we need to do is turn our little guy on. We need to turn the blanket on, get that heating. It'll take about 30 seconds to 40 seconds to get to full strength. It's quite quick. And then we're ready. Once we start hearing that sizzle, and you might be able to see some steam coming out, I'm ready to try and bend that. Okay, switching on the power now. Here we go. Crank that heat up to 130 degrees Celsius. Put my gloves on, wherever they are. Fire gloves, fireproof gloves. I'm going to leave it for a minute until I feel the heat. Ooh, that's hot already. That blanket gets really hot to touch, so I've got these fireproof asbestos gloves. They're going to help me control that. Just going to put a little bit of pressure on so I can hear the sizzling. Starting to sizzle. Just going to hold the weight and let the form do the work. Starting to move. Slowly going. There's a bit of steam coming out of there. It's bending. It's sizzling. You can see the steam coming out. Clamping that down. Turn that heat down to about 90 Celsius. Clamp this up. Right down. Turn that heat off now. Completely. That's done. One more clamp. There we go. Done. There it is. The sandwich is in. Let that sit there now. Let it cool down. You can see the sandwich if I bring this down to this level. You can see there's the sandwich. Okay, no cracks, looks intact. We're going to let that sit there for a little while and we'll come back to it a little later on. There's the clamps holding that form down. That's our sandwich, and we've bent that side. That's my process there. Matt Burrows. Ooh, acoustic build, absolutely acoustic build. Matty B, what's going on? Welcome to the show. Good to see you, everybody. Big shout out for Matty if you haven't already shouted him out. Please. Sandwich. I like how everyone puts the M in there. Sandwich. Huh. Thank you very much, Terry. Yeah, it is an acoustic build. These are the sides, my friend. We just did the full side of a camphor laurel strip like that. 2.4 millimeters. We're going to take it out a little later on when it cools right down and have a good look at it. And we're going to do the cutaway another time. I just wanted to get started today, see what results we got. 90 degrees C, Texas. That's the lower temperature. 130 degrees Celsius is the heat where the steam came out. Did you guys see the steam coming out? Was the steam evident? Metal answer, what's going on? Because I'm American and refuse to do the math. It's okay. I think that's 90's probably around, who knows, 180? 100 and something? It was very steamy. We like it steamy, Karen. We like it steamy. That's how we like it. Orbiter's hat, Orbiter guitars, check him out. Steam sizzled. Absolutely. It was sizzling away. It sounded like I had 194 Fahrenheit. That is the lower temps when we're cooling it off, Texas. At its peak, it was 130, which is about 270 Fahrenheit, I think. Yes, we do. Absolutely, we do. Fire in the hole. Fire in the hole. We like a little bit of razzmatazz and a little bit of bang a boom, boom a bam, bada bing. Fire and explosions and steam and heat and bending things. Back. Willie won't go. Tell me you didn't miss it. I'm going to do another one later, so we're going to be fine. Let's take that guy out and let's hook him on to see what that looked like, what that's come out like, and let's put him into the form, clamp him down, clip him to the form, and the beauty of it is we use the same form to clip him down as we did to bend him. And this half here has a corresponding half for the other half of the guitar. These two will get stuck together, so when we have both pieces in, it'll be like a little round cage holding those sides. We're going to get this off now. Let that cool down, let me have a feel. It's reasonably cool. Take off these pegs. Get this guy out. Have a look at it. Hopefully we haven't cracked anything. I didn't hear any cracks. Normally, I took it nice and slowly. Normally you can hear it if it cracks. Let's take this off. It's going to spring back. It wants to spring back. It's still very, very young and very new, the bend, and it'll want to bounce back hard. It's not too bad so far. It's not too bad at all. It seems to have settled nicely. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. It seems to have settled nicely. Let's try and take that off nice and gently. Here we go. That seems to... I'm going to put the form down here, like so. We'll take this blanket off. That's nice and cool now. There's the side. Wow, that's looking really good. That's looking fantastic, if I do say so myself. No cracks by the looks of things. That spring steel did its job. We'll take that guy off. Let's move the camera. Drum roll, ladies and gentlemen. Let's put that guy in there. Let's clamp him down. Let's peg him in. Joe Pags with a raid. What's going on, Joe Pags? Thank you very much for the raid. Appreciate you. No cracks. Very, very nice. Perfect. A little bit of warpage at the bottom there, still a little bit wet down here, but that's going to get cut off. It's very long. We've got to pop this guy in here and clamp it into shape. So we pop that guy in there and we basically peg that guy down and make sure that it dries. It's still a little bit on the moist side. We want it to dry and stay in that shape. Clamps! Terry, we need clamps! Let's keep these long ones for the other side. There we go. There we go, there we have it. So let's move that over and show you guys what that looks like. There it is in the form. Okay, it's sitting in there, drying in that shape. There's our bend. Okay, that's our side. So we've got that side done. And all that's left now is to do the other side. The other side's a little bit more complicated. We've got that belly, the waistline, and then we've got a cutaway, which we'll do in two parts. The first part will be the same as that. We're going to bend the middle. The other part's going to hang over. We're going to use a steel pole, pull that in, and help shape that cutaway around that other section. This section here is the tricky section. This is the tricky section here, because we've got that bend there. It's going to come over, and then we're going to have to pull that down and then pull it around as well. So lots of spring steel in here. Get that tight corner done, and that's where it's likely to crack, if anywhere. So we have to be very, very cautious. The process is pretty well defined. I've got the temperature and the moisture content balanced nicely, so it's all going to be good, and it's going to work out. So that's that guy there, guys and girls. That's how we bend an acoustic side. That's how I bend an acoustic side. There are a number of ways to do that. I'm going to put some clamps on this side because I want it not to. It's still wanting to spring back. Let me put a couple of clamps there. Terry, more clamps. Tidy that up. You can see it wants to spring back a little bit. We just need to push that in slightly. I'll grab some of these small guys. Keep that guy in there. Like that. Stop it from springing. Another one in here. More clamps! And we'll let that guy dry now. That guy's got to dry. There we go. You can see that gap there? It wants to spring out. So we're just going to keep it in there just to keep the pressure on. And until it develops its muscle memory, its muscle memory is what we need to develop, just like anything else that we do. Under tension, there we go. bit more in there. Beautiful, that's all. One up the end here, and we're good to go. There we go, ladies and gents. That's pretty much done for now. There we go. What's happening with the kittens? The kittens, Sue. How are you, Sue? Good to see you. Earbuds in the store always helps. Is it going to be a Dreadnought? It's going to be a Cutaway, my friend. A Maton Cutaway. Same shape as the Maton, M-A-T-O-N, Texas. Look them up, M-A-T-O-N. It is an Australian company. It's been around for about 80 years, and they make probably as good as Martin and or Gibson acoustics, at least as good as Martin. I love them. They're my favorite acoustic. I've just based the shape on it. Obviously, I'm not using the same materials. There's the brand. Have a look at them online, see what they do. It is a beautiful, beautiful product from a marvelous family company. That's Let's move this guy and let's prepare for the next one. I'll change the forms and you'll see what we're talking about. Give this other guy a go, see what we can come up with. All right, let's switch over. Out with this guy. And up with this guy. Cutaway. Cutaway. And here's the other part. I need to hinge that on here. I need to hinge that right there. Go in like that and close up. Get that cut. The other thing I also use, which I find just as effective, depends how I'm feeling, Depends how easily the wood turns. Is this guy. Fits in there perfectly. We can clamp that guy and bring that down. Once we get this bend done, once this bend is done, we do it in 2 phases, then we can actually, it gets to there and it's sticking out there, we just use this guy and slide that guy in there and lock that in there, and that should do the trick. Okay, this guy does work, but I find that sometimes it springs out. It's not exactly very, very tight. I need to get that hinged. I need to get that guy hinged right there so that I can just open it up and clamp it down. I don't have a hinge at the moment, otherwise I would do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this guy here instead. And basically the clamps we clamp that guy in like that. And that's how it's going to bend that side there. That's what's going to do the thing. You could use tape as a hinge. Yeah, I could. I could, mate. I think there's more control with this pipe because I can get to hold the pipe and push down and roll it down, whereas I can get a lot tighter with the pipe. This guy might work. I'll just double check that. I don't want to risk cracking that cutaway too easily. So let me have a quick look and see what we can do with this. If I was to tape this guy, and I don't think tape, this is quite heavy, Nifty. It's quite heavy. Let me tape that in place and see if I can get the same amount. See, what happens here, unfortunately, is as this comes down, I need to push this guy downwards. This just pushes it inwards. Okay, ideally what you want is to come down from here, like that. That's the motion I want. I can't achieve it with this block. Always. If it's a thin piece that's not likely to break, yes, this is quite a wide piece. It's 5 inches wide. So I need to get it right. So I think I'm trying to try the pipe. I'm going to do a partial bend firstly. We're going to do a partial bend and we're going to see how we go. Don't forget yes, that's right. That little guitar you can see right there is our giveaway. Don't forget to subscribe and get those tickets for that giveaway, guys and girls. I need to get some water. My throat's a bit how are you doing today? I've got my Orbi hat on. For those of you that don't know, Orbiter Guitars, here he is. Sitting here representing out of San Fran, my good friend Greg and his wonderful, wonderful guitar tech. And now he's a pickup winder and he makes a damn good pickup as well. Cheers, Big Ears. He's looking up your old address, as they say. Just in time, Nifty. Thank you very much for the redemption. Orbi. Thank you, Terry. Always on the ball. Dana's in the house. Hey, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Spike, give that man a shout out too, Terry, please. Let's prep the other guy and see how we go. Alrighty. Move this guy up. We've just bent one side, Spike. Okay, let's get our foil up here. Let's prep the next one. Okay, next piece of wood. Here it is. This is going to be epic if we get this right, guys and girls. Let's try. Let's give it a red hot go, as they say. What's the worst thing that can happen? It could crack. Well, shit happens. So we'll give it a go and see what happens. Lurking as you go. Just take your time, man, and just pay attention on the road, and you can catch up a little later on. Gatto, what's going on? Okay, we bent one side. We bent one side. Big Bumstead's in the house. Marky Mark, what's going on? Get that guy all soaked up. Nice and wet. Lock that guy in, keep all that moisture in there. As much of it as we can. Two stages, guys and girls. 2 stages. Okay. We're going to do 2 stages here. We're going to do the main belly cut bend. Before we do that, let me grab the other half and show you guys what we've already done. Get out of there. Okay. There's the first half clamped up in the form, in half the form. Okay, our first side. That is the full side, not the cutaway. And we've got to try and attempt the same thing now with the other piece, and then we'll think about the cutaway. Let's pop this guy down just over here, out of the way. Okay. All right, let's get going. So, let's position our camera. Down, 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 down. There. See what we can see. Tootsie Roller. I've got some models up on meloscustom.com. So exclamation web should give you where you need to go. And of course, there's a couple of new ones that we haven't got up there yet. Let me just pop that down for you. I think that'll work. Have a look over there. You can see what we've done. Also, Instagram to show you what we're doing at the moment. So have a look there. Whew. I don't do Facebook, unfortunately. I do Instagram. That's bad enough. We'll stay away from Facebook. Okay, thank you, Terry. Appreciate it. All right, so we've got this guy here. So we're going to try and get this bend done first. Okay? Get this guy done first. So that's wet, good to go. We're going to grab some spring steel. We're going to place that guy straight under there. It's going to take up two positions. One is it's going to back this guy, and the other is going to back this guy here. I also need some more over the top. So I'm going to put a couple underneath. Like so. Here we go. Just gonna peg that together. Keep that nice and tight. We might put the blanket on first. Let's grab that silicone blanket. Let's position this guy properly. Let's peg this guy. Like so. Just to keep it from wobbling out of place. Just put a couple of pegs just there to hold that into place. Clamp it up, Terry. Clamp it! I love it. I love it when she talks dirty. Okay. Put that guy there like that. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I just did the other end as well. Let's just bring that up. Just make sure you guys can see what we're doing. There we go. Okay, we've got that done there. Okay, now let's be thoughtful about this. We need to get this stuff done first, that end done first. So we're only going to use this guy. Okay, we also need spring steel over the top of here. Let me get some more spring steel. Where have I done with it? What have I done with it? I had more of it. I need to find it. Give me a sec. It's not there. piece I was looking for. Okay. That's the piece I'm looking for right there. Alrighty, let's give that a go. 0.4 millimeters, we should be good to go. Let's see how we go. Okay, are we ready, ladies and germs? Let's turn it on. Clothespins, clothes pegs, we call them here. Pegs or pins. Pins is an interesting one. Let's go. Dana, let's go. Ready. Okay. Let's just tie up our apron here. My clothes are going everywhere. I'm exposed. I'm exposed everywhere. I need to cover up. No one needs to see that. Okay. Good to go. Let's do it, guys and girls. First we have a drink. My throat's really rough today. Ha! Cheers, big ears. Alrighty. Let's get going. Ha! With what some women wear on Twitch, or more to the point, what they don't wear. There's a lot. They wear less than they wear. They have less off, or more off than they do on. Let's get back to the workbench. Okay, let's give this a red hot go, guys and girls. I'll see how we pan out. Plugging it in, heat it up to 130 Celsius, 270. Let it go. It's going to take about 60 seconds to reach optimum temperature. It's going to start steaming, baby. Steaming. Just going to touch that, let that rest. Push that blanket down until we hear that steaming. And see the steam rising. Starting to bubble. Let that warm up. It's about a second away. I better put my gloves on before I burn the crap out of myself. It does get really hot. Here we go. It's crackling, guys. It's crackling. We're making bacon. Nice and slowly. Straighten it up. Drop that guy, let it bend under its own steam. Snap, crackle and pop. It's snapping, it's crackling, it's popping. See the steam? There it is. It's giving now. It just gives way and it's bending. It's compliant. Easy, easy squeezy. Let's clamp that guy up. That was a no-brainer. I'm just going to turn that off, turn it down to 90, or to 60 I should say. Turn it right down, keep it warm. Okay. Clamp this guy up. Okay, that's good. We're good there, guys and girls. We're really good there. Another clamp. Where's that other clamp? Let's get this guy straightened up. Straighten it up. Come on, baby. Down you go. Okay, turn that up again. Steaming again. Here we go. Get that right down. Tighten that down. Nearly there. Clamps. Gotta move, gotta move, gotta move. Okay, that guy's done. Whew. Alrighty, pipe. Come on, come on, come on. Get out there, come on. Oopsie daisy. Okay, I'm going to stop that there. Let that cool down. We're going to do this in two parts. I'm going to take this spring steel off. I need it, now that I've got that bent over past that point, I need the spring steel under here, but I don't need it on top. It's just adding too much thickness and the bar isn't grabbing. So we need to push that guy to get a bit more malleable. Let's leave that sit like that for a little bit. Let's put this back on. Let's just let it cool down and we'll set that up for the other bend a little later on. There we go. Let's let that sit there like so. And we will keep bending that down and under. There we go. And of course, scorching it's not a great idea. It means we need to sand a lot of any dark burn marks. It sometimes can burn and scorch the surface. We can sand that out, but I don't want to do too much of that. So it's good. If it's torches, just call it metal answer. Good answer coming from you. Okay, we're going to let that sit for a bit. I'm going to let that mellow out. I'm going to take that off and I'm going to re-wet that corner. I suspect it's dried up a little bit. I want to inspect the other bend as well. And then we're going to sit it in there, get it down and bed it down, and then we're going to bend the other section. So let me pull that out and see how we go. Ha! Very funny metal. Haven't done it yet, my friend, so there's always a first time though. Needs to obviously go again, but we've got the major bend done. It's just the cutaway that we need to work on now. And I need to take this guy off. I don't need that guy anymore. And that guy sits in there nicely like so. We're going to strap that guy in. First things first though is we're going to take this off and have a look at what we've got so far. Check the surface, make sure it's not scorched. It should be okay. Damn. Okay, that's good. Oh, that looks good. It's a nice bend. Very nice. Looking nice and smooth. Let's check that up here. Let's open that up. We've just got to do this end here. I want to check it. A little bit of scorching, not too much. Oh, looks pretty good. A little bit of a scorch, not too much. Lots of moisture. Okay. A little bit of scorching just here. We're going to give that a light sand, just about there. You can see a little bit of darkness. We're just going to rub that back. So far so good. It's looking okay. It's a little bit. We're going to wet this side down and get this side bent over now. That's what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to wet the whole thing, give it a bit more moisture. It's 2.5 mil. You don't need that much sanding. It's just a light scuff. It'll get that out. You won't see anything there when we're done. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, let's wet this guy down again. Mostly down this end. I'm going to put a little bit on this end as well. Just on the top. Okay. Let's grab some foil. A little bit harder to wrap once it's bent, of course, but it's okay, we'll get there. Not what I wanted to do. Okay. Silicon does cool down and heat up very, very quickly. So it's always a good thing. I'm going to put the blanket mainly down this end. So I've taken it away from that end there. I'm going to give this a go. See how we end up. Let's peg that up. Fine there. All right, let's put that, let's brace that guy up. Up we go. Okay. Now, I'm thinking I might try this guy. I'm going to try the steel pole first. Get that bend going before I use the other guy to clamp the rest down, I think. Let's turn that on, let's give it a go. Eisenhausen. All right, up she goes. I'm just going to use this steel bar and I'm just going to roll that and get that bending, get that shape. Once we get the shape, we'll put the block in there and clamp that up and finish the last couple of, the last inch of movement. Texas Truth, yep, probably. Paul the Entertainer, what's going on, Paulie? Good to see you. I always start by rolling that, keep the tension down. Let that heat up, it's heating up. I've gone a little bit slower, 120 Celsius instead of 135. I don't want it to cook too quickly. Just want it to get, here we go, it's starting to give now. Just pulling that down, keeping the tension. It's very important to keep the tension on those straps. Just helping it along. It's starting to give. Let's turn that off. I'm doing it in 3 stages. It's very, very tight. It's looking good. I need to get this guy clamped down. Okay, I need to get that guy clamped. Where are those big clamps gone? There's one there. Oh, here they are. Okay. A little bit more, and we're almost there. Turning that heat back on. We've got about an inch to go. Where's Marky Mark? What's he saying? Yeah, yeah, the cutaways are tricky, man. Okay. Need the big one. This way up. Get under there. Come on. That's it. Whew. We're there. Turn that off quick. Let that sit. Let that sit. That's pretty much where I want it, guys and girls. I'm going to be able to put that in the form now, and it should clamp that up and let it dry, and then I'll put it in the complete form. All right, so I think we got there without it. Doesn't sound like I had any cracks in there. I still need to check it out. There might be a small crack. I don't think so. It looks pretty good. You can normally see the bend. If it's cracked, it goes boop, and it's got a very sharp point. But those straps, those steel straps are the key there to put those fibers, make sure they keep getting pushed down as you bend. They want to do that. You want to make sure they keep still while you're bending. Cheers, big ears. Let's have a drink. Greg, what's going on? Paulie, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you. Okay, guys and girls, we'll have a drink. We'll take that out and have a little inspection. See how we're going. Cheers, big ears. For those that, whilst that's drying up, let me show you what we've been working on. So, there's the first half. That's done, and that's been clamped in there, right? We've got that guy sitting in there. It's taking its shape, drying off. Pop that guy down there. Let me grab the Les Paul acoustic, or the Les Paul chambered L6C as we call it. Let's have a look at how that guy's going. Okay, L6C. There it is. Blackheart Sassafras, single F hole right on this side. 3 controls, 1 volume, 1 tone, 2 humbuckers, 3-way switch. The back is poplar. The body is actually poplar. We've got black binding all the way around. Got to clean that binding up. Got to get that sorted out. Neck is white cedar. Australian white cedar. 22 millimeters at the first fret. 23 millimeters at the 12th. It's a little bit, as Orbi says, in that medium chunky. It's not quite chunky, but it's not really skinny. It's got a little bit of something to hold on to, as they say, the way we always like it. And there's the streaked ebony fretboard, mother of pearl dots or markers, and medium jumbos. That's all polished and leveled, ready to go. Tenon and mortise joint, of course. We'll plug that guy in and have a look. 2 degree angle. Why 2 degrees and not 4? Because it's a flat top. There's no carve on that guy. So the angle doesn't need to be high. We're still using a tom bridge, so you're going to get a little bit higher than the pickups. It's going to come down from a little bit of a height, but 2 degrees is more than enough. And there's the joint at the back there. You can see that guy go bonk and flush into there. And we've got that flush on the edges as well. So it's going to be great once we get that guy glued in there. It's a very, very slight angle. Very slight angle. 2 degrees is nothing. So it's coming along. Sassafras, that's the one. Very cool. Paulie, that's going to have 2 pickups from Mr. Glyn's, 2 integrities. And the integrities are the PAF 59s that he winds. So nice and warm, very, very rock and roll, very blues, very, very cool. So that guy is almost done and dusted. We've got a little bit to go yet, but it's getting there. Don't forget the giveaway, guys and girls. The giveaway is ready to go. For those of you that haven't seen the giveaway, let's have a quick look at the giveaway. T6 model. Queensland maple, a little bit of Coolabah burl on the cap there. Canadian flame maple neck. We've got a burgundy ebony fretboard. There's the comic strip there. There are the comic strip characters on there. Special Elvis and the little baby guys. That is the Elvis and his band from Willie Won't Go's Pond. That's our giveaway. That's Australian rosewood. The cap on the top of that. That guy's good to go. Plays like a bell. Rings like a bell. Get in there. Exclamation giveaway. Subscribers. Exclamation points. Check your points out. Go to the giveaway website. Exclamation giveaway. Get those tickets. We're going to draw this end of July. So, Orbi, what's going on? Nifty, you like it? Excellent. I like it too. Not a bad neck. I like this neck. It's a beauty. This neck is a ripper. Okay. Let's have a look at this bend, guys and girls, and let's put it back in its little home. So, here's the proof in the pudding. Let's see if we screwed that up. I did go very, very gentle. I tried to take my time. I did it in 3 passes. I'm going to move this guy up to the bench, and let's unfold it and see what we got. Let's get our silly camera lined up and good to go. For the love of God, let's do this. Come on. Great. Orbi, look! I've got the cap on, dude. I've got my pom-poms going. I've got the Orbi hat on. I'm all psyched. I'm all ready to go. Isn't that great? It looks great on me, if I do say so myself. Cowbell, more cowbell. Absolutely more cowbell. Okay. Let's flick over and have a look at what this has turned out like. Unclip. It's going to spring back a little bit, as you would expect it. Just a tad. There it goes. Oh, spring back a lot. It's a tight bend. Let's get this guy in. Let's hope it didn't break. We'll find out in a minute. I've got shit everywhere, hang on. Stuff everywhere. All right, here it is. Let's start with this end. This end's fine. A little bit of scorching on the inside, not too fussed about that. A little bit of a burn there, we're going to rub that out, that'll be fine. We've got a bit of a scorch there. Oh, talk about, oh, that's a great bend, no cracks at all. There it is. No cracks at all, looks really good. It's not a very tight bend for a cutaway, there are worse. My 18-inch arch top Super 400 has a very tight, it actually comes back on itself and then curves up. That's not too bad. No cracks, that's the main thing. So we're good to go. Let's get it in the form and let's get it locked down and let it dry out properly. I'm just going to staple it on this one. I am building another form for it that I'm going to lock the two together, but for now we're just going to clamp this down and get this guy sorted out like so. So we just need some clamps. Camphor laurel burns very, very well. Bends very, very well, I should say. It worked. That was quite simple. It wasn't too complicated. It did seem to give at the right time. Once you get the temperature up nice and hot, it gave. It needed to be hot though, I'll tell you. Let's get that down lower. It's too high. There we go. Let's get this guy in. Clamp it up. Terry, you happy with that? I'm glad you're happy. When you're happy, I'm happy. Goes without saying. We love it when Terry's happy, guys and girls. It pretty much tells us everything we need to know. If Terry's happy, we're all happy. Just going to clamp this guy in place at the moment. Let it sit in there and let it retrain its muscle memory. Until we get the thing glued up and get the cap on there. Once we get the base done, we'll be good to go. What we're going to do next is we're going to sand the top and the back to shape, and we're going to start looking at some bracing. Start the bracing process. Okay, let's get this guy tightened up down here. There we go, one there. There we go. Clamps! Make sure it's straight, we don't want to twist it. We do get a spiral twist in it, we're in trouble. So it's nice and straight. There it is, right up against the edge. Get that guy down. There we go. The tightest corners are the ones that need the most correction, muscle memory. Have the biggest muscle memory, so we just clamp those down. Let's get that guy in there. Okay. There we go. Get this guy clamped up there. Okay, do this side. Damn it! Okay. Okay. not too tight, just enough to touch. There we go. That's in. Now, do we want to get that block in there? I think we do. Get this block in there as well, like that. That guy all tightened up in there, in the grill. Get that guy in there. Come on. Get up there. Come on. One more clamp. More clamps. Damn it. Get in there. Not the best scenario, but we'll get there. Okay. This side. I need the longer clamps on the outside. Get up there. Giddy up. Not too tight. Okay, there we go. Get that guy down. Put him away. Let's just sit him up here. My hands are full. There we go. Alrighty. Let that guy sit around. And now we move on. We move on to sanding, getting the edges. I'll get the top and bottom. We'll have a look at what we need to do there. I'm going to mark out where some bracing is going to go and get that side going. Maui Lynn, what's going on? Briggs is in the house. Yeah, bleed. I bleed on them all the time. I cut myself to ribbons. Hey, I'm fine. 300 bits from Paul. Thank you very much. Briggs was 7. And Mr. Hell Yeah with 100. Thank you very much, guys and girls. Appreciate the support. We've just bent those sides. I'm going to put Patty Schiller with 200. Thank you very much, Patty. You're awesome. I'm going to grab those, the top and back. I'll show you those guys, and we're going to mark out where the bracing is going to go. Give me a second. I'll be back in a tick if I can get through here. Let's move this without dropping anything. That's it. Okay. Okay, ladies and gents, we've got the top, the front, bunya pine, very nice, nice and stripy, nice and straight. That's going to be the top. Okay, we've got to cut that out the shape. We're going to mark out where the hole's going to go and what have you. The back of that guy looks like this. There's the back of that guy. Camphor laurel matching the sides. Okay, so we've got camphor laurel sides and back. That's the... got us a hype. Thank you very much. Do we have a hype yet? We might be. Thanks very much. I appreciate it. There we have it. So that's the back. And what I'm going to do now is mark out where we need to get some bracing on there. Let's get that right. Okay. There we go. Right. Move that. Move this over a little bit further. Alrighty. It's down. Okay, let's flick over and let's have a look at what we've got to do here. Willie Wonko. Awesome, 200 bits. The hype train's kicked off. My God, you've done it. Community sub from Dana. Thank you for the gifted sub, Dana. You are awesome. We love our Dana. She's great. Absolutely the best peeps on the internet. We have them right here. Here's the back, guys and girls. That's the inside of the back. That is the outside of the back. On the inside, we're going to have a brace down the middle here. We're also going to have 3 braces across here. And that's going to help that back stabilise. Willie won't go with 100 bits. Thank you, Willie. So I'm going to measure, I've got a centre line there. I'm just going to darken that up a little bit. There's a little bit of glue there. I've scraped most of that off. Let me get a rule and let's get a good centre line down there. And just make sure that we've got everything lined up the way we want it to. Okay, so nice and visible. I'm going to take a 2-inch drop for the neck block. I'm going to allow 3. Give that a little bit more room. And from here we're going to measure the length from there to the bottom. It's basically 45 centimetres. That means 15. We're going to go down 5. We're going to go down 10. And then we're going to split that 17, so 10, 33 into that, 12, 24. And we're going to rule a line across here. Seven and a half. Let's go 7 and a half. 7 and a half. That's where one brace is going to go across there. We've got another guy going across there, so you guys can see that. Okay. Another brace is going to go across here, and we've got one more down here. Okay, we're going to have 3 braces. They are going to be the rib cage to support this guy. The spine is going to be a piece down here as well. I always put a piece down the middle, about a 1/4 inch wide. Okay, we always have a brace down the middle as well, a spine and a rib cage with 6 ribs. Paul the Entertainer, thank you for the gifted sub, Paulie. Vicky in Paradise, Dana with a gifted sub, Vicky with a gifted sub, Willie with 100, another 100, Terry with 500. Thank you very much, guys. Paul, you are awesome. Can we get a shout out for Paul the Entertainer, please? Terry, if you haven't already, Paul is a great Australian singer-songwriter. He plays a lot of good Aussie covers, and if you ever catch Paul, you'll be very, very entertained. Hence the name. See what I did there? Paulie, great to have you here, mate. I really appreciate it. And I believe his father used to be a luthier, or was a luthier, is a luthier, and I believe his sister is learning how to make guitars, and that is brilliant. Love it. So, the project that never stops. Houses never stop. That's exactly right. Briggs, houses never stop. Okay, let's get out the top. This is where the real work starts. So with the top, let me grab the fretboard. Okay, so this is the inside of this guy. So basically we have the fretboard crossing over at the 14th fret, 12, 13, 14 to there. It's right on the line, 12, 13, 14, right there. We'll mark that guy. Like that. That's where our fretboard is ending. And we're going to have our sound hole in here. Okay. Let me grab a little tool and just make a little mark. If I can find it. Give me a sec. I'll just grab my radius. 11. It's too long. Where's that other one? Hang on a sec, guys. I've got to get my little thingy happening. Okay. Where's that tool that I made? Hang on. Oh, I've lost it. Okay, never mind. We'll just grab the verniers out. Just making a little scratch of where the hole's going to be, the sound hole. There, like that. Just roughly, just so I know where the hole is actually going to be. Yeah, that's where a hole's going to be. You won't, it'll actually be round, but with the board coming down, that's what you're going to see with that, that edge. So ultimately, it's going to be cut and that fretboard is going to sit like that. Okay. And what we need to do is we need to put some bracing under here. Oops. Grab that. I need two big braces straight through here. Seven. Yep. Okay. There will be a couple of a big cross brace right here. Cross brace right here. Two pieces of wood, like that. That's the main structure there. Where the bridge goes, let's measure that roughly. Clamp! I've run out of clamps, almost. Almost, let me grab another clamp. If I stick this guy down, we can work out roughly where the scale length is going to be, 25.5 inch scale length. So our bridge will be roughly right there. So it'll be roughly in here. And what I normally do is I reinforce the bridge foot where the bridge is being glued to with a block of wood. A block of maple is going to go in here. There'll be a block of wood just in there. Okay, and that will reinforce all that tension. There'll be 6 holes across there, and through the other side on that block there'll be a piece of wood glued down that will be the bridge with the saddle sitting on it. Okay, Leslie. Good night. Thanks very much. Key question, how many clamps does Manny have? I say 37. I have to check it out. I haven't even counted them myself, Briggs, but that's a good question. We can have a guessing competition, and if you guess right, I will give away some merchandise. I will give away a beanie, a guitar shaped beanie to the first person that gets the guess right. Start now. Who's got the clamps? How many has he got? Who's got the number of clamps? Go. Good night, Leslie, 8000 blue. That's right, Leslie loves the blue. And then from here, we've got a brace there, a piece of wood goes there, two there, three there, angled away, put that big brace through here. There we go. That's the bracing pattern that I use. Okay, and that basically is the skeleton. That's the skeleton for the inside of the top. Okay,
If you look inside the whole of an acoustic guitar, you'll see lots of little braces and wood. There's also a lining of timber going around the edges. I'll show you what we've got. So we've got this purfling here. This stuff goes around the edge of the sides, and I'll show you what we do with that. And this is what we place around the side of the guitar, and this guy sticks to. So if I just cut this open, I'll show you one piece. Beautiful Queensland maple bracing. Oopsie daisy. There we go. I won't break that. I don't want to break it. It doesn't matter if it does break, but the objective of this rib is that gets glued to the, that's why it's flexible. That's why it's cut like that, so we can bend it. And that gets glued all the way around the edges like so. Okay? That gets glued around the edges. That goes all the way down the edges, and that's that piece of brace around the edges is what the sides glue to. This is glued onto the sides actually, and then it has that little layer there, that level, that ledge that the top sits on and glues down, and there'll be another one corresponding for the bottom. So this is this stuff here is what we use to brace all the way around the edges and get those sides and the tops glued together. Mr. Greg, what's going on? That's a lot of bracing. It is a lot of bracing, Texas. That's how I do it. Very, very fine here. Queensland maple is very, very fine. I cut it to a 1/4 inch, very short. A lot of it's shaved away. It's a fair bit of bracing. This is quite thin. It's very flexible. It's bunya pine. We need that braced up. We need that block in there, and this is going to be spot on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, sorry, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 pieces all up. 18 pieces. I haven't gone any across in here. That's way overkill. This is the rib cage that I want for this guy, and that's how I do it. Greg, have a look at this. Where is he?
Orbiter Guitars, big shout out, exclamation, Orbi, 16 might be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 I usually use. I think I've counted something twice. And I've got an extra one here, as you can see. For that extra bit up there. It's okay, it's fine. That's my pattern. That's what I use. And that's the front of that guy. We're going to work on that hole. So, there we have it, guys and girls.
There she is. We've counted all those. Now I'm going to ask you all to, I'm going to post, next show, I'm going to post a, what am I going to post? I'm going to post a stupid question I might be asking. Will they be on the outside, inside the guitar? Okay. Lynn, these are on the inside. These ribs, or the bracing, is on the inside to keep the guitar, give it some rigidity and solid support under that string tension. There's the outside. I'll explain it. If this is the bridge, there's the guy. Let's just pretend this is the bridge, like that. And the hole is up here, and the guitars. And you've got these strings running that way, up towards the neck. Those strings really pull up at this guy. They really pull up at it. And it will bend or lift right off or bulge if we just have one piece of wood like this. So what we do is on the inside, we have all these braces working like a truss, like a bridge, like a truss bridge. Structural ribs that help it remain nice and stiff, nice and rigid, so that when you do pull that tension up there, it doesn't bend. They're on the inside. The back only needs a few because there's no direct tension on the back from strings. So we've got 3 big ones on the back and 1 down the spine. And that's what we do. I hope that answers your question. Hey Sheila, what's going on? Orby! Good man. Looking with that beanie, Rage, you know it. Rage, you need to get beanies on.
I'm going to give away a beanie to the first person that guesses correctly what my clamp count is. You can go to !Discord, go to our Luthier Uprising, go to the Guitar Show's Discord chapter page, and I want you to enter the number. I'm going to look at those. You've got until the end of the week. I'm going to look at those, and then the winner, whoever gets closest to the number of clamps I have, whoever gets closest will win a Guitar Show beanie in the colour of there's about 5 or 6 colours you can pick. I'll let you know what the colours are, and you can pick one. And I'll send that out to whoever gets closest, okay? There you go, a little bit of fun. Lynn, you're welcome, and I hope you had... they also add a bit of intonation, do they not? They are tone woods, yes, they would. Not intonation, resonance, a little bit of tonality maybe. They help stiffen up the material so that the speed of vibration is quicker, is improved. Whenever you have a hard piece of wood, the vibrations travel really, really quickly because there's not much play in it. If you have soft wood, it vibrates a lot more aggressively, or the displacement of the wavelengths is because it's softer and it tends to shake and rattle more. It gives it a little bit more stiffness, speed of tonality, speed of the transfer of the sound waves. So $1. Gato, $1 it is. Thank you, Terry, for the Discord link. So intonation's all about the length of the string and the length of the scale. That's done at the bridge. Anything inside doesn't add any intonation. You're probably thinking about tonality or the tone of the wood, the resonance, the volume and the resonance. It does help with some of that, absolutely. And it also helps structurally. It's very much a structural thing as well. Clamp count is always not enough. M. Paulie, what's going on? Good to see you. Welcome on in. Hype Train earlier on level 3. Thank you, guys and girls. Really appreciate it. 5 gifted subs, 1,400 bits and pieces. 1,400 bits and pieces. We're going to come back tomorrow. We're going to shave those guys down the side. We're also going to see how the sides are going. They're drying off at the moment. They're in their clamps. For those of you that missed it, I'll just pick up one of them, the light one. This is the light one. Oops. There's our side there. We've got one side bent. We've got the other side bent as well. It's sitting over here in its own little place of worship and goodness. I've dropped my scalpel. I don't know where my blade is. I'll probably cut myself to ribbons before we know it. If we move over here and change cameras, you'll see the other guy all clamped up.
There it is, right there. And it's got the cutaway at that end, which you cannot see. There's the cutaway right there. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring those two halves. Tomorrow I'm going to bring those
two halves together, and we've got a latch on each half mold, and we're going to pull those latches, lock them up, bring those in together, and it'll be a symmetrical guitar outline, and then we can start working on getting all that bracing around the edges, and then getting the bracing on the top and bottom. Cutting out a block for the neck. We need to cut a joint in there, a mortise joint for that tenon, that V-shaped dovetail joint. We need to put a wooden block in the bottom. That's what keeps the two sides from separating. A head and a tail block. The rest is all hollow. There's a piece of wood at the top, piece of wood at the bottom, right down the middle, holding the top and holding the bottom, and down the middle it's all hollow. But we've got that bracing across the top and the bottom pieces to help us with that. I went high with my count. Excellent, Gatto. You know, the higher you go, the closer you are to reaching the correct number of clamps, which is never enough. Grey Dog, thank you for the 100 bits, my friend. I really appreciate it. Clamp it up, Willie. Absolutely. I'm going to see what's going on. We have got Matty Burrows on. We're going to go to Matt and we're going to check him out. Let me just quickly kick that off. I won a mug recently. I don't need to be greedy. Ghetto, it's okay, my friend. You don't need to enter. It's just open to anyone that wants a free beanie. Courtesy of me. Because I'm such a good guy. Ha! I hope you did learn something a little bit, guys and girls. Oh, shivers, I've done it wrong. Underscore doofus. Why do you put an underscore in your name, Matthew Burrows? There it is. That should work this time. It does. Absolutely magnificent having you here, guys and girls. I hope you enjoyed today. We did bend some sides. Success. We got that stuff done. Camphor Laurel, really, really good. A little bit of scorching on one side. It's okay. We'll sand that clean and it'll be good to go. Thank you very much for being here, guys. I will see you again tomorrow. Make sure you tune in. Look after each other. Look after yourselves as well. Manny from the Guitar Show in Sydney. Until tomorrow, have a good night. Have a good afternoon, wherever you may be. I'll see you then. Bye for now.